This is Dr. David Schein, and welcome to Business Law 101.
On the right to counsel, I think it's fair to point out that if you don't have the means for an attorney, yes, they will provide you with one. However, that attorney works for the state, which are the same people who are trying to prosecute you.
You know, that's not really the problem. The public defenders oftentimes are very young attorneys, and they get out of law school and they do not have enough business, or a law firm doesn't hire them. So they go down to the courthouse and they do get paid by the state. They get paid something very nominal. I don't know what it is today, but I remember it used to be like $75 an hour when most attorneys were getting $200 or $250 an hour. So it paid very badly. So you'd have these very young attorneys would go down, sit in the back of the courthouse, wait to get an appointment from the state to represent these indigent defendants. The criticism historically has been that because of the way the attorneys are selected, it's not what I call the A team. It's kind of the C- team, if you will, because the A guys and gals all got good jobs, and the B guys and gals all went out and started their own law practice, and the C- students are the ones sitting in the back of the courthouse looking for court appointments. Not all of them, but usually it's a matter of a difference. And remember that this is going to sound very cruel. There are a few people accused of crime who are not guilty. The majority of people accused of crime, because of the way these amendments work, generally speaking, are pretty guilty. So the public defenders a lot of times are strictly negotiating the length of the criminal sentence, the terms, probation, things like that. They're not out there to blaze things like the fictional character Atticus Finch in to the famous novel To Kill a Mockingbird. We all think about that great political defense attorney, or things like that. But the reality is the criminal justice system is a much less exciting process than they make it on television. And of course, I mentioned O.J. Simpson a few minutes ago, and obviously he had, they called that the dream team. And his lawyers, he obviously had the money to pay these famous lawyers. The dream team created enough confusion that someone who was obviously guilty was found not guilty, and again, because of the rule of double jeopardy, could not be prosecuted again, unfortunately. Now, keep in mind, in O.J. Simpson's case, and we'll mention this in the next chapter, Ron Goldman's family, the other parents of the other person killed that day with Nicole Simpson, his family sued in civil court against O.J. Simpson and won a $35 million judgment against O.J. Simpson. And they are active at enforcing that judgment, and he will never own much. And you say, well, O.J. Simpson runs around the country like a wealthy man. That is true. The reason he's able to do that is because he has a National Football League pension, an NFL pension. And under ERISA, the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974, you cannot lose your federally protected pension. So as long as he gets his money every month and spends it every month and doesn't buy anything in particular that the Ron Goldman family could go grab, he can live, on his income from each month from that NFL pension. The other observation on that, I mentioned that he wrote a book called If I Did It. The proceeds from that book, he was using it to try and make some extra money. The Goldman family immediately went to court, very strange set of circumstances, and said, if he makes any money on that book, we get the money because he owes us $35 million plus interest. So rather strange twist to things. So pretty interesting case.